Our final grammar lesson for October is found on page 53 of your grammar textbook. We are going to be covering indirect objects, direct objects, and sentences with a purpose. So on page 53 at the bottom, we start with the object of a verb, which is a complement that, unlike a subject complement, does not identify or modify the subject. An object of a verb is a noun, pronoun, or word group that completes the meaning of a transitive verb, which is a verb that expresses an action directed towards a person, place, thing, or idea. On page 54, we have examples of the objects of a verb. The cat was chasing a moth. Moth completes the meaning of the transitive verb was chasing. Jeff's mother gave him some grapes. Him and grapes complete the meaning of the transitive verb gave. Kevin and I enjoy playing chess. Playing, a gerund, completes the meaning of the transitive verb enjoy. An object of a verb may consist of more than one word. The journalist interviewed the Secretary of State. Secretary of State, a compound noun, completes the meaning of the transitive verb interviewed. Do you know what this is? What this is, a noun clause, completes the meaning of the transitive verb do know. Objects of verbs, like other kinds of complements, can appear in subordinate clauses as well as independent clauses, and we have an example of that. After she had read us the story, the teacher gave us a quiz on it. Us and story complete the meaning of had read in the subordinate clause. Us and quiz complete the meaning of gave in the independent clause. Two kinds of objects of verbs are direct objects and indirect objects. A direct object is a noun, pronoun, or word group that tells who or what receives the action of a transitive verb or shows the result of the action. A direct object answers the question whom or what after a transitive verb. The examples: I took my little sister to the parade. I took whom? Sister. She loved the colorful floats. She loved what? The colorful floats. A direct object may be compound. The parrot said good morning and cat free to good home. The parrot said what? Good morning and cat free to good home. A direct object may precede the subject and verb. What remarkable tricks the illusionist performed. The illusionist performed what? Tricks. Page 55. Just like other complements, direct objects are never found in prepositional phrases. Tom was driving in his car. Car is part of the prepositional phrase in his car. The sentence has no direct object. Now, Tom was driving his car. Car is the direct object because there's no preposition. On exercise 12, you will do the evens. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 on exercise 12. You may pause to complete the task. Coming back to indirect objects, an indirect object is a noun, pronoun, or word group that often appears in sentences containing direct objects. An indirect object tells to whom or to what, or for whom or for what the action of a transitive verb is done. Melly read us her poem. Melly read her poem to whom? Us. I fed the horses some oats. I fed oats to what? Horses. John left you this message. Sorry, that should be Juan left you this message. Juan left the message for whom? You. Carly knitted her pet dachshund a blanket. Carly knitted a blanket for what? Dachshund. If the word to or for is used, the noun or pronoun following it is part of a prepositional phrase and cannot be an indirect object. And there it shows you the differences between a prepositional phrase and an indirect object. Page 56. An indirect object may be compound. Our ski instructor gave Lucia and me great tips. Our ski instructor gave what? Tips, so that would be your direct object. But who did he give the tips to? Lucia and me. And those are your indirect objects. Many times you will find your indirect objects right in front of your direct objects. So in this sentence, our ski instructor gave. Instructor is your subject, gave is your verb. Gave what? Tips is your direct object. And who did he give the tips to? Your indirect objects, Lucia and me. In exercise 13, you will do the evens. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 in exercise 13. Please pause to complete the task. We will skip review D and go on to page 57, where we have classifying sentences by purpose. Depending on its purpose, a sentence may be classified as declarative, imperative, interrogative, or exclamatory. A declarative sentence makes a statement and ends with a period. And you have the examples there. An imperative sentence gives a command or makes a request. Most imperative sentences end with a period. A strong command ends with an exclamation point. And you have your examples there. We have the mild command, the request, and they both end in periods, but the strong command ends in an exclamation point. Notice in the examples that above that a command or request has the understood subject you. There is no subject in these. It's understood that the subject is you because they are commands. An interrogative sentence asks a question and ends with a question mark. And you have examples. And an exclamatory sentence shows excitement or expresses strong feeling and ends with an exclamation point. And the examples are there. Page 58. Any sentence may be spoken so that it becomes exclamatory or interrogative. When writing dialogue, use an exclamation point or a question mark to show how you intend the sentence to be read. It's snowing. That's just a statement of fact. It's snowing. Exclamatory, you're excited. It's snowing? That's your question. In exercise 14, please do the evens. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. You may pause to finish this task. And this will conclude our grammar for October.